Hey guys, Cadin here, and finally we are done with Season 3 and moving on to something actually good, Season 4. This season, Epic decided to go back to the approach of Chapter 2 Season 2 with unique POIs containing bosses and vaults, and I gotta say, so far it's working out pretty well. I'm excited to start talking about this new season, so let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Also use my code, thanks! Before talking about last season, I want to discuss two seasons similar to it, Chapter 3 Season 2 and Chapter 3 Season 3. Season 2 was one of the worst seasons of all time, but to its credit, there was never really a dull moment in that season. Season 3 was alright, but hardly had anything happen of note besides the Dragon Ball collab. Basically, Season 2 was bad but not boring, and Season 3 was boring but not that bad. Last season was both bad and boring. We had a mid-ass battle pass, a biome with unbreakable foliage that makes it unnecessarily hard just to see a few feet in front of you, the worst summer event in this game's entire history, and worst of all, the loot pool. This season had an overabundance of overpowered weapons, such as the Mammoth Pistol, Explosive Repeater, Drum Shotgun, and Combat SMG, which by the way got fucking buffed midway through the season for God knows what reason. Not to mention that for about 75% of this season there was zero movement items in the main game. Also, one other thing that doesn't really matter to BR players, but in Save the World, one of the main perks that most players used didn't even work properly for the entire season. I understand that Epic doesn't care about us anymore, but surely they could have patched that sooner. But in my opinion, the worst thing about this season is that they took one of our own away from us, our beloved Evil Square.
Yes, they did. There's plenty of people dropping. This guy really
I don't see a better idea.
I think dude, you're just stupid.
And the bastards killed him anyway. It was for nothing.
Rest in peace, buddy. You will never be forgotten. Anyway, last season gets a 1.5 out of 10. Genuinely a contender for the worst season of all time. Full disclosure, I stopped paying attention to the lore of this season because Season 2's story was fucking awful, so I'm getting most of my information from a recap video by PlayStation Grenade. So there was a big earthquake at the beginning of this season that revealed a jungle biome underground with the remains of an ancient civilization. Optimus Prime decided to show up and left us 5 messages over the course of the season. This reality is doomed to collapse, Sloan knows how to move forward, the 0 point has gone dormant and powerful enemies have taken notice. We must discover a secret in the stars, and the key to our future lies in the past. Oh, also, Sloan is back after being crushed by a giant robot, no big deal. She has seemingly cut ties with the imagined organization and wants to decipher the writings of the ancient people who used to live here. She discovers a ruined telescope type thing atop a temple called the Apparatus that she wants to get working. She enlists the help of one of the other syndicates from Mega City, the Luminaries, to reconstruct the Apparatus. Along with this, there were a few side missions this season. One involved stealing a golden chalice for Aura, another had us saving coral buddies for the triggerfish, and finding the schematic of the apparatus for Sloan. The chalice and the coral buddies were going to be given to some kind of collector who we assumed to be Kato Thorn, and the schematic was apparently made by Stellan during Season 1. So after getting the schematic, the apparatus is fully functioning, displaying a chart of moon phases leading up to an eclipse, which is where we leave off now. There are 3 new POIs in the southwest, northwest, and northeast corners of the map, all containing a boss and a vault. All the new POIs have incredibly similar layouts to the point where it's hard to point out exactly what's different aside from the location and the shape, so that's all I'm going to talk about. Relentless Retreat is the southwest POI shaped like a crescent moon, Sanguine Suites is the northeast POI and it's shaped like a head, and Eclipse Estate is the northwest POI that replaced the Citadel. Additionally, Rumble Ruins, Slappy Shores, and Mega City are now controlled by Kato's forces and have their own vaults. As for Mega City, the vault has been relocated to the Dragon building in the middle of the town, and the old one is merely a shell of its former self, and I'm pretty sure the same goes for the Shattered, Brutal, and the other vaults last season. Also, the water level in the jungle biome appears to have risen. Knowing Epic, this honestly might not mean anything, but I felt like pointing it out just in case it does. Okay, vault list time, let's do this. This season, Epic vaulted the Explosive Repeater, Mammoth Pistol, Grapple Glove, Lever Shotgun, Drum Shotgun, Wasps, Boomerang, Cloak Gauntlets, MP5, Grenades, Thermal Flopper, Flapjack Rifle, Mark Alpha, and Havoc Pump Shotgun, so most of the overpowered shit from last season got vaulted, which is good. For unvaults, we have C4, Shockwave Grenade, Silenced Pistol, Silent Sniper, Maven Shotgun, Gunner's Stinger SMG, Zig and Choppy's Ray Gun, TNTina's Bow, Ocean's Chug Jug, Jules Drum Gun Painted Gold, Kit's Charged Shotgun and Shockwave Launcher, and Dwayne's Mark 7. The Silenced Pistol also caught a buff. It's now full auto, had a damage buff of 1 per rarity, and finally has its gray, green, and gold rarities back after like 4 fucking years. As with every new season, there are a few new weapons and items that got added, so let's start out with the weapons. First up is the Infiltrator Pump Shotgun. This is not a pump shotgun, it's another TAC clone. It runs from gray to gold with a mythic version on Loot Island, doing 76.5, 80.1, 84.6, 89.1, 92.7, and 97.2 damage for each rarity, with a fire rate of 1.2, mag size of 6, and reload speeds of 5.5, 5.25, 5, 4.75, 4.5, and 4.25. It has a 1.75 headshot multiplier, damage ranges from 12.5 to 60 meters, and a max damage cap of 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, and 140 for each rarity. Those of you who pay as much attention to stats as me might have noticed that this weapon does exactly 1 less damage and 5 less headshot damage per rarity than the Maven Shotgun. When I found out about this on the first day of the season, I didn't even consider picking it up because on paper the Maven was just better, but after giving it an actual try, it's kinda starting to grow on me. Plus, it has much tighter spread than the Maven, so the only time the Maven would actually be better is in point blank range. Next up is the Twin Mag Assault Rifle, probably one of the best ARs ever added to the game. It runs from gray to gold, doing 31, 32, 34, 36, and 37 damage per rarity with a fire rate of 5.4, max size of 20, and reload speeds of 1.43, 1.37, 1.3, 1.24, and 1.17 per rarity. It has a headshot multiplier of 1.65 and a damage ranges from 50 to 100 meters, doing 80% max damage beyond max range. An update made to all twin mag weapons this season is that after reloading your first mag, you can reload again without having to shoot another bullet, so you can get them both mags reloaded. Additionally, this weapon is the first weapon in the entire game to have an actual recoil pattern. It's nothing special, just the weapon climbing up for the duration of the mag, but it's the first of its kind. Anyways, this weapon is a beam machine. You'll be taking players out at long range with absolute ease, especially with the Scope Salvo perk, which increases its damage by about 17%, letting you do 70 damage per headshot on the golden rarity. Expect this gun to get nerfed soon because it is insane. The final new weapon this season is the Scoped Burst SMG. A strange concept, I know, but actually not that bad. It runs from gray to gold with a mythic version dropped by Cato, doing 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, and 16 damage per rarity. Yes, you heard that right, the purple and gold rarity do the same damage. Just another classic oversight by our favorite company, am I right? Anyways, it has a fire rate of 11.43, max size of 32, and reload speeds of 2.64, 2.52, 2.4, 2.28, 2.16, and 2.04. has a 1.5 headshot multiplier, fires in 4 round bursts, and has a damage ranges from 40 to 80 meters, doing 75% damage past max range. So it has those combat SMG ranges. I'm not very happy about that. It does have a bit of recoil that only exists on the first burst, then it just stops moving. So my advice for using this gun is to aim for center mass so it'll pull to the head and then it'll just stay there. At this point in time, I can't tell if this or the combat is better, but the burst does feel pretty good to use, so for now, I'd say it's up to preference. Now we move on to the new items, the first of which is the Crash Pad Jr. It's the exact same as the old Crash Pad, but it's now uncommon rarity, can't break structures, and is only a quarter of the size. Next up is the Business Turret, a throwable briefcase that turns into a turret that locks onto opponents and deals 7 damage per shot. You can pick it back up when you throw it, and it can be destroyed by either enemy players or going too far away from it. Each player can only have 1 turret down at a time, but it has a max stack size of 2. Finally, we have what many people are considering to be the best item that Epic has ever added to the game, the Rocket Ram. It takes about 2 seconds to charge, and once you charged, it sends you flying in the direction you're looking. Once you reach the apex of your trajectory, your character will flip to the top of the rocket and start going down. When you land, you will destroy any structure directly in your path and do splash damage to nearby structures. Directly hitting an enemy player with this item will deal 50 damage to them, and once you use it, it goes on a 25-second cooldown. This is no doubt an incredible new item for pub matches, but in competitive...
Playing height in this is not gonna ever work. Like, literally, it's never gonna work. Like, dude, you got...
Yeah, I really hope Epic decides to wake up and realize this shit is not healthy for a competitive late game scenario. They could always just remove it from comp, but you and I both know that won't happen. Finally, we move on to augments. This season we lost Exotic Grab Bag, Shotgun Striker, Swift Shotgun Reload, Reckless Rifle Reload, SMG Extended Mag, Heavy Headshots, Desperate Reload, Pistol Recycle, Mythic Munition, Shrub Mud, Thermal Mud, Fire Armory, Shotgun Slide, Roaming Redeploy, Soaring Sprints, Traversal Warrior, Aquatic Warrior, Bloodhound, Heavy Ammo Acquired, and Splash Party. That's a lot. They also unvaulted Sniper Surplus and Supercharged, and there are 6 new augments this season that I will once again be ranking from bad to busted, so let's get to it. On the Go Bag. Any container you open will contain an item that can spawn in a heist bag, that being shockwaves, rocket ram, C4, crash pads, or slap splashes. Great. Sniper Striker. Sniper hits heal for about 12% of damage dealt. Okay. Ammo Drop. Grants 2 stacks of random ammo types and makes players drop more ammo when killed. Great. Pistol Salvo. Increases pistol damage by 15% and reduces fire rate by 18%. Good. Fast Fisher. You swim faster and instantly loot fishing spots when you swim through them. In casual play it's okay, but in competitive I imagine this will be busted. And I saved the best for last, First Shotgun. The first bullet of your shotgun deals 25% extra damage. This lets you do 231 headshot damage with a breacher shotgun, and with Kit's charge you can hit for 195 to the body. So if you were wondering, it's busted. Each of the 3 new POIs have their own special vault housing the unvaulted mythics. Sanguine Suites and Relentless Retreat have 2, while Eclipse Estates has 3. Once you kill the boss and open the vault, you are only allowed to take 1 of the mythics, and when you do, the POI goes on high alert and the guards start running to the vault. If you're wondering which mythic you should seek out, I plan to make a video about that, so stay tuned. Also, there are now 3 radar towers on the map, and when the first circle closes, a boss will spawn at each of them. Killing the boss will award you with a golden twin mag, slurp juice, and a radar keycard. Using the keycard on the radar tower will allow you to see the future storm circles for the remainder of the game. Also, there's a new type of chest called a heist bag. It's the same as a normal chest, but will always drop a heist item like the things that I said you could get from the Go Bag perk. And the maximum rarity of weapon you can get from them is only blue. Finally, the wait time for the first circle to start closing has been increased by about 2 minutes. We have all the ingredients for one of the best seasons of all time. Now we just have to hope that Epic doesn't find a way to fuck it up. But so far, I love this season. There's so much new stuff to do, and looting vaults has never felt more exciting. The loot pool is pretty solid, with just a few things that need to be ironed out. Combat SMG! But right now, I give this season an 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think about this season, whether you like it, hate it, think it's one of the best, or one of the worst. And if you think it's one of the worst, you're probably lying to yourself. But yeah, that's it. See ya.